Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the search continues for two missing boaters after a crash leaves one person dead. The latest we're learning from police.
Plus, UConn's new rules for on-campus protests are causing some controversy. We're breaking them all down.
Plus, as the November election nears, there's concerns over how artificial intelligence will play a role, while lawmakers say needs to be done now before you vote.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. Two men are still missing tonight in Old Saybrook after a boat crashed into a break wall nearly 24 hours ago.
Now, right now, crews are scouring the area where Long Island Sound meets the Connecticut River. At least one person is dead and 6 others were sent to the hospital. Fox
61's Julia LeBlanc joining us now live near Harbor One Marina. Julia, what can you tell us?
Hi, good evening to you both. Yeah, crews are still out on the water right now searching for those two men who they say are still unaccounted for after last night's boat crash. Now, they are focusing most of their attention in the area in the distance there where the Connecticut River meets Long Island Sound, specifically near the two break walls. You can see some of them there. The furthest one is where police say the boat crashed last night. Officers with Connecticut's Environmental Conservation Police say it all happened just after 9 p.m. Monday. They say the group of friends was coming back from Block Island. Crews found one man on board pronounced dead on the scene. 6 others, all adults, were rushed to area hospitals. Now, police say the driver of the boat is still listed in critical condition tonight. Now, earlier this afternoon, they pulled that boat out of the water, revealing significant damage to the bow of the boat and the bottom. While they're still not sure what caused the crash just yet, they will be looking into whether alcohol or speed were factors here.
Based on that much damage, I would say that the vessel was moving considerably, but to what extent, you know, until we download data from GPS, and we won't know exactly. So, but I would say it was probably significant.
Now, the search involving the U.S. Coast Guard, the State Police Dive Team, East Lyme Police, and Encon Police. Now, new this half hour, they tell us they will continue the search until sunset tonight and then close it off for the evening, picking things back up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, we still do not know the names of those who were involved here, including the person who was pronounced dead. Their families are still being notified. We will let you know as we learn more. For now, we're live in Old Saybrook. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. A Middletown elementary school was on lockdown this morning for a report of a student with a firearm. Police say they responded to Beal Field Elementary School just before 11 a.m. It was quickly determined that a student had a fake gun in their backpack and the lockdown was lifted. Police say there is no public safety concern and the incident remains under investigation.
The family of a Burlington teen who was hit and killed last year is filing a new lawsuit. Sophie Rehnquist died in May of 2023. 19-year-old Cooper Ouellette is accused of being intoxicated and running over Rehnquist. You see him right here. Rehnquist was his girlfriend at the time, and he's also accused of never getting help before she passed away. Rehnquist's family is now suing Ouellette. The lawsuit lists Edgewood Wine and Spirits in Bristol for allegedly serving alcohol to Ouellette, who was underage at the time prior to the accident. The lawsuit also names Tyler Schultz of Terryville for hosting the party that the couple attended. That's where drugs and alcohol were present, according to police. Ouellette is facing manslaughter charges and has pleaded not guilty.
New Haven police are investigating 2 separate shootings that happened within the past 24 hours. The first shooting happened near Grand and Blatchley Avenues around 5:30 p.m. yesterday. Police say a 20-year-old man with gunshot wounds walked into the hospital soon after. And then this morning, just before 3, there was a second shooting near Sherman and Whaley Avenues. Police say a man and a woman, both in their 20s, arrived at a nearby hospital, both with gunshot wounds to their feet. All 3 victims are expected to be okay. Again, these incidents are not connected. New Haven police are asking anybody with information about either shooting to give them a call.
State police releasing their final Labor Day weekend enforcement statistics. Between Friday at midnight and 11:59 last night, police responded to 5,100 calls, about the same time as last year. This included more than 300 crashes. One person was killed. There were also 41 DUI arrests, and that's up big time since last year when there were only 25. Time now for a check on the forecast. It's been cool outside, but how's it looking for sleeping tonight?
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now with the answer. Rach?
It's another open up the windows kind of night ahead. In fact, maybe if you opened up the windows last night, you woke up this morning and shut them. Ooh, it's chilly out there to start off the day, but we continue with this sunny stretch. With those cool mornings, we also have these beautiful, pleasantly warm afternoons, and I do think temperatures tomorrow afternoon will be just a few degrees warmer than today, but that low humidity remains. 72 right now for the New Haven area, 74 in Hartford. Both cameras, you are looking at nothing but sunshine. And hey, we're seeing upper 60s now for Groton, for Waterbury, and also for Torrington. There's nothing to show you here on the satellite and radar. Obviously, you can look outside the window and see that for yourself. By the news at 11, temperatures are already dipping back into the 50s, and by daybreak, we're seeing a lot of the state in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. So maybe a light jacket for the kids in the morning that they're probably going to lose at school and won't return with in the afternoon. Sunglasses through the day with temperatures returning up around 80 degrees as we head through the afternoon. We're going to talk about how much longer this amazing stretch lasts and when showers return coming up.
Well, Connecticut lawmakers are pushing for stronger protections against the misuse of artificial intelligence.
They're specifically focusing on interference in elections, and with the number of races in November just 9 weeks away, they say new laws are needed now.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst spoke with legislators and cybersecurity experts today, and she joins us now in studio with what she found out. Emma.
Bridget, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal is pushing for more protections against AI-generated deceptive deepfakes, impersonations, and misrepresentations. He says these can be extremely harmful during election season and wants voters to know what to look out for.
Right now, in this election season, artificial technology is in the Wild West.
Whether it's through deepfakes, robocalls, or misinformation, artificial intelligence is becoming part of the campaign cycle.
With artificial intelligence, with about the same resources, the same time, and the same budget, you can generate thousands, tens of thousands of directed messages directed at specific voters.
Adam Powell with USC's Election Cybersecurity Initiative says elections have significantly changed in the last 8 years.
We're seeing lots of disinformation and misinformation, some of it coming from overseas and some of it coming domestically. Some of them may look like they're coming from a relative. Some of them may look like they're coming from your boss, but they're actually coming from an imposter. And they may say this candidate is good or that candidate is better. They may also say the election district has moved your voting place, or the time of the election this year has changed.
That's why Blumenthal introduced new bipartisan legislation in the Senate to require disclaimers on political ads with images, audio, or video substantially generated by AI. This measure would also require the Federal Election Commission quickly address any violations.
Anything goes, because we have no effective protections requiring disclosure of the use of artificial intelligence technology and penalties for distortive deepfakes or impersonation. Safeguards are paramount during the election season.
While Powell says states are in a much better place than 8 or even 4 years ago, he believes measures like Blumenthal's are necessary to protect voters.
So far, we seem to be doing pretty well. Now, you don't want to get overconfident. You don't want to say, oh, we're 100% safe. Nothing is 100% safe. This is a new way of misleading voters, and so we need new ways of defending against it.
Blumenthal is currently co-sponsoring this measure with Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. I asked Blumenthal today if this legislation could actually pass before the November elections. He tells me the bill does have bipartisan support and he believes it could pass in the next 2 weeks or so, but says that would take resolve on the part of Congress and stronger, broader bipartisan support across the board. Bridget, Brent.
All right, Emma, thank you. Well, Representative Johanna Hayes is introducing new legislation to expand school meal access. The School Hunger Elimination Act would certify all school-age students receiving Medicaid or supplemental security income to receive free or reduced price lunch. Now, that would remove the current step of families having to submit an application to get the assistance. Nearly 1 in 5 children in the United States live in households without consistent access to adequate nutrition.
A lawyer who's also a food safety advocate wants Congress to investigate Boar's Head. Now, the Department of Agriculture found dozens of health and safety violations at a Boar's Head plant over in Virginia from January 2022 to August of this year. The outbreak has led to at least 9 deaths and 57 other people getting sick. The Centers for Disease Control says it's the largest listeria outbreak since 2011.